Welcome to Asian Music Idol, your ultimate backstage pass to the hottest stars and stories in Asian pop.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're grabbing just one source. It's a collection of recent news snippets about Asian celebrities. Comes from an article dated June 14th, 2025 out of Ngoisao.
Right.
And our mission here really is to quickly unpack these headlines. We want to pull out the most, important bits, the surprising facts. Basically give you a snapshot of what's grabbing attention in Asian showbiz, well, according to this specific article anyway.
And it's interesting, this one source gives a real cross-section. Yeah, you get a feel for the kind of stories making waves right now. It touches on, like, music, acting, personal lives, even that tricky intersection of fame and privacy.
Okay, good point. So let's start where the article does. It kicks off with some pretty major K-pop headlines. Specifically, a couple of updates about BTS members.
That's right. First up, the article mentions Jungkook. Big news for fans. Obviously, he recently finished his military service.
Right, that's a huge milestone. But then, almost in the same breath, the piece reports a woman was arrested trying to break into his house. Yeah, what a contrast, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's just finished this. Like, national duty, very public, very structured.
Right.
And bam, he's back in the headlines for a really serious security issue at his home.
It's incredibly jarring. And I think it really starkly shows that for these global icons, doing your national service doesn't mean you get a break from the extreme side of fame.
No escape, huh?
It seems like maybe the return even heightens the spotlight sometimes, unfortunately. Attracts devoted fans, sure, but also, well, dangerous people. It really underscores the security challenges they face constantly.
That's a really interesting perspective, how returning to normal life is, well, not normal at all for them.
Exactly.
Okay, so speaking of intense attention, here's where the article gets into territory that, let's be honest, always creates a ton of buzz.
Ah, yes. The piece brings up V, another BTS member, and those renewed rumors.
Specifically, the dating rumor, him and Jennie from BLACKPINK. The article makes a point of saying this speculation resurfaced after his military discharge.
Right, and it explicitly reminds us they were rumored back in 2023.
Yeah, I remember that.
But, crucially, it says it was never confirmed.
Never confirmed. So the fact that it's popping up again now, right after his discharge, that's pretty telling, isn't it?
It really is. It kind of shows how these big life events for celebs, like finishing military service, become these hooks, almost. Hooks to reignite these old stories the public is invested in.
Yeah, like unfinished business for the rumor mill.
Exactly. It shows the power of, unconfirmed stuff, especially when it involves maybe the two biggest groups on the planet, BTS and BLACKPINK. The public clearly wants it to be true, or at least is fascinated by the possibility.
Confirmed or not, the story just keeps going.
And it raises that whole question about, like, how long do these unverified things last online? They just take on a life of their own.
Definitely food for thought. Okay, so we've hit some intense K-pop stuff, security scares, those persistent dating rumors. Let's shift gears a bit. The article also covers other aspects of celebrity life, like relationships, marriage, family news.
Yeah, and this section really shows the full spectrum, doesn't it? From the difficult to the happier side. The piece details a tough situation for singer-songwriter Yoon Jung.
Ah, okay. What happened there?
Well, the article reports she actually won a lawsuit against her husband's lover. The lover's name is mentioned Yoonan Didan.
Wow, she won the lawsuit. It says she caught them and filed the complaint herself.
That's what the article states. And now she's divorcing her husband. It also mentions her statement about recovering from physical and psychological wounds from the marriage.
Oh, that's incredibly tough. And so public, going through the legal system like that.
It really is. It shows that celebrity news isn't just, glamour and gossip. It's real life, painful stuff like betrayal and healing just played out under this intense microscope. A big contrast to other headlines, maybe.
Definitely a contrast. And speaking of contrast, the article does have a different kind of relationship update. It mentions actors Aragaki Yui and Hoshino Gen.
Ah, yeah. They were on a radio show together recently.
That's it. And they shared some details about how they got together. Apparently, after their 2016 drama, it's not easy to be a good girl. They were just friends.
Okay, so friends first.
For years. But here's the kind of sweet, surprising bit from the article. They only started dating when that old show aired again in 2021.
No way, really? The reruns sparked it.
Seems like it, and they got married late that same year. The article says they seem very happy now.
That's actually a really charming timeline. Friends for ages, then romance sparks years later because of their old work resurfacing. It's a nice counterpoint to the drama, Shows things can be quiet and develop over time, too.
Yeah, very specific, kind of unique detail from this piece. And then quickly on family news, the article mentions actor Danson Tang.
Oh, yeah, just a brief mention, I
But
think.
just that he showed off his cute mixed-race son on social media. And it adds the context that his wife, Su Kwan, is Taiwanese-American.
Explains the mixed heritage. Just a nice little family moment shared publicly.
So yeah, quite the range there. Legal battles, slow burn romance, happy family stuff. Okay, let's pivot again. The article also highlights some moments related to acting, appearances, being in the spotlight.
Right. And one point that seems to have caused a stir involves actor Zhang Han.
What about him?
Well, the article notes he's 40 years old
Okay.
and apparently got mocked online for wearing a student uniform to play a high school student.
Oof, 40 playing a high schooler. Yeah, I can see how that might get some comments.
Definitely. But the article includes his side, too. He responded saying it was just for a floorback scene.
Context.
Yeah, and he asked people to, focus on his performance, not just the costume, for a brief scene.
Makes sense.
But it does raise that whole question about expectations, right? Especially around age and roles.
Yeah.
And the scrutiny over appearance, casting, even for quick flashbacks.
Seems like audiences have very strong ideas. And talking about moments in the spotlight, actress Wang Ziwen had one, a very visible one.
Yes, at the China Fashion Festival. That was June 12th, according to the article.
What happened?
She tripped while walking the red carpet.
Oh no, on the red carpet.
Yep. Just one of those, relatable, but probably slightly embarrassing public moments that gets caught on camera. Reminds you that even glamorous events aren't always smooth sailing.
True enough, an unexpected moment. And finally, the article mentions Jia Jingwen's daughter.
Right, her eldest daughter, Sun Ling's one.
What's the news there?
Just that she is apparently attracting attention for her appearance. The piece adds she lives in Shanghai with her dad, the businessman Sun Jihao.
So the focus is shifting to the kids now, too.
It seems so. It kind of stands out how the public eye just expands, Beyond the celebrity to their family, their kids, focusing on looks or their lives. Shows how pervasive that whole celebrity-adjacent attention thing is.
Okay, so just recapping from this single article from June 14th, we've really bounced around. K-pop security risks, those V and Jennie rumors that won't die.
The intense personal drama with Eunjong's lawsuit.
Then the sweet story about Aragaki Yui and Hoshino Jen, Danson Tang's family moment.
And actors dealing with age criticism, red carpet trips.
And even celebrity kids getting attention. It's quite a mix.
It really is. This deep dive, based just on this one source you provided, it really helps pull out the essence of what was making headlines in that specific sphere on that specific day.
Yeah, it shows the kind of, I guess, complex and sometimes contradictory reality of fame that gets captured in these daily news cycles.
Exactly. It's a quick way for you, the listener, to get informed on the sheer variety of stories people are talking about and just how intense that spotlight can be.
Makes you think about the range of experiences, right? From really deeply personal, painful stuff to like potentially embarrassing public moments.
And how all of it just becomes headline fodder.
Yeah. And maybe how the platforms where this stuff spreads, like social media probably, influences just how fast and loud these headlines become.
That's definitely something to chew on. How the medium shapes the message, even in celebrity news.
For sure. Well, thanks for diving deep with us today.
Thanks for watching Asian Music Idol. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated with the hottest buzz in Asian pop culture.